Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In Nier Reincarnation, I want to go into Recollections of Dusk with my new JP account. It's under 3 months old, but with all of the handouts that we got from the SS subjugations from everyone, I feel like I have a better chance if I use those characters. Yeah, we'll just go from Theo, I guess. I'm most interested in getting and maxing Gale, because she's just so good, but we'll start with Theo. And when I do Recollections of Dusk, first thing I do is I look at the doors. I look at what each door requires. Now we have this handy button on the right. We can just look at what everything requires. And then Theo, she's one of the earlier, or she is the earliest Recollections of Dusk. So hers is kind of the easiest, and then also has the least requirements. So what I do here is I look at which character is required for every door. And then I think about how I can work a healer into every team. Every team, every door, I like to have a healer with a character skill, and then also a weapon with a healing. And I feel like if I have both of those things, then my clears are much more reliable. And possibly doable auto battle. But with my challenge account here, I only have the handout characters, and then I am going to use the SS subjugations for everyone handout stuff, those half a dozen characters. And I'm looking at the Akiha that I have, the handout, and I'm looking at whatever proficient weapon, ideally, has the kind of the demerit relief there. And then I also check the demerit. Here it's attack power down. That's not going to matter very much for my healer, and I'm going for a 2-star F66X here. But just out of habit, I'm giving them a bunch of weapons. And this is still the early stages, so it is easier. It is doable, very doable, with 2- or 3-star costumes. But I'm looking at the units that they hand out, and then also the just the other handout units that they do for seasonal, for New Year's or anniversary or whatever. And there aren't any top-tier attackers in there. I'm sure this is a pattern that a lot of people have recognized, but the top-tier attackers, they're all limited or seasonal units. Collaboration or Christmas, or New Year's or whatever. And so by kind of cutting myself off from all of that, damage might be a problem. One direction that I could go is to go very tanky, and then instead rely on damage from burn or poison. That might be a direction that I go. Or I could kind of change the rules of my challenge and then begin to use the Abyssal characters that I have. But I'll try to go as far as I can without those Abyssal characters, or without limited characters, and see how far I can get. Okay, so we beat that first door, and then this second door here, again, looking at who I need to use. We have Griff. Can't use my Abyssal Griff, so we'll use the Lacrima instead. And then another healer, 3-star F66X. 2-star Sadia, she also has a heal, if I remember, so that's another possibility. And then I went through and I did all of the slabs. I took everybody to 60%. You don't have to use any of the large, rare slabs in order to get that. But the characters from the girl and the monster are the most important to level, because in these earlier Recollections of Dusk stages, they're the ones that are required. It isn't until later that the Sun and the Moon characters are required. But yeah, here I can use the Shadowbound Leon. Very happy to exchange for him and then use him. And it's kind of crazy to get like half a dozen characters plus their books to take them to level 90. But yeah, there just aren't top tier attackers in there, so I have to think about that. But I'm also considering like how far I want to go in Recollections of Dusk with this challenge account. Do I want to aim for a max character, which would require beating very, very hard, master something? Or do I just want to max the weapons, which would require just beating hard? But part of the reason why I'm doing this challenge account is to sort of just kind of remind myself what it's like to be a new player. Kind of experience the challenges that they run into. Experience like how much there is to do. Oh, and then before going into these Recollections of Dusk, I did beat floor 30 of all of the towers, so I have that under my belt. Next, I can think about beating floor 40 for all of them. But for now, we'll do the Recollections of Dusk. And then this boss Theo for every level, difficulty level, is going to be a wind element. So I can very easily use the burn weapons as proficient, or main hand weapons rather. I'll get the element resistance, but I'll also get damage, which my account, or which this challenge is not going to be very good on. So instead I can focus on building a tanky team and just doing, you know, set amount of damage over time. But Fio is required. We'll use the new handout, Lacrima Fio. And then healer, we'll use my Dark Memory, Sadio. Again, I want a healer every battle. And then we have the healing staff from Anniversary F66X, I think. That has a heal on there. And then Abstract Demas, one of my favorite costumes, and I use him actually in every single boss fight of Recollections of Dusk. He's very tanky, so he can last a long time. He has okay damage output, and then he has a blind on his character skill, which none of the bosses are immune to, so it comes in handy pretty often. And then I have burn weapons on Theo and Demas in order to get that status effect in there and then do the damage. The Greatsword is only stage 8, so it won't do the max amount of turns for the burn. But as long as I can survive, it's fine. And then I am so angry at myself because I wasn't able to record the voice actor lines when we enter that first room. I started it up and it was loading for a really long time, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll stop the recording. The second that I stopped, she started to speak. But Fio, you know, she's not one of my favorite characters. And then, what did she say? She said, like, where am I? Mr. Monster's not here. So, not a great loss that I wasn't able to record that, but still, I'm kicking myself. Okay, so that is me starting the Recollections of Dusk. Hopefully that's helpful to people that have not tackled the game mode yet. If you take it slow, then I think it's doable. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.